Good evening, YouTube. Matt M. Roy back once again. Was sitting back there watching Father Ted, great old British comedy. How many of you are old enough to remember the Pokemon craze? I am. I used to watch it every once in a while, but I was going through my closet yesterday and I came across this card, Mewtwo, who was the pretty much the head Pokemon of the second Pokemon movie. Generic Pokemon, length 6 feet 7 inches, weight 269 pounds. That is one big Pokemon, I'll tell you that. You don't believe me? You can almost read that for yourself there if I can get the right angle. Come on, focus. No. Not going to focus. Oh, well. You'll have to take my word for it. How is everybody doing tonight? Well. Start of a new week. Not too much actually happening right now. I busied myself today pretty much working on the Tahoe, cleaning it out, getting ready for paint. I am going to be painting the Tahoe. I decided to go with it's a semi-gloss black, let's say. I went to Home Depot and I picked up let me see if I remember this right, is the limousine black. So it is a leathery black, but it's not a flat and it's not a gloss. It's a semi-gloss, so it's kind of halfway in between. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and roll it on, literally roll it on like you'd roll paint on with a paint roller, and that's what is going to happen with that. I don't know how well it's going to go. I did a little test section today with the paintbrush, and it looked pretty good. But I couldn't do it all because the next few days we're looking at rain. So I'm just going to have to wait a little bit, and hopefully we'll get a couple of nice days where I can go ahead and, because I got to sand it, just do a preliminary sand, and then I can go ahead and roll that paint on. I think it's going to look pretty good. I went with the Bear, and the cool thing about Home Depot is they can mix the paint any way you want. So I got oil-based latex semi-gloss, and it is exterior, so it should be able to hold up pretty well. I've never done this type of paint job myself, but I know friends of ours that have, and they say that it works really well. You just need to remember to lay it on thick, because at the end of the day, this is not necessarily automotive paint. So after a couple of years, it's going to start wearing down. So just make sure you lay it on thick. And in my case, I'm only painting the roof and the hood. I'm going to start with the roof, see how that comes out, and then move on to the hood. How Kay is out and about waiting for someone in the car. Okay. Mark Covington is here. Classic Mobile Home is here. Rick Lakes is here. And George Blakely. We got 10 watchers right now. Boy, I'm going to have to figure out something to do. I finally got myself a Bluetooth clock radio for right near my bed. So if I'm having a hard time sleeping at night, I can just open my phone up, maybe listen to some tunes. But it's one of those iHome ones, and it's got those multicolored LED lights that basically flash and change color, which I'm sure some people would probably find soothing. But me, especially since I sleep on my side, that would drive me crazy, because right through my eyelids, I'd be seeing like psychedelic blues and oranges and greens and reds. And oh my gosh, it would drive me up the wall. So hopefully there's a way to turn it off. I got it at the thrift store, so I'll have to look online later and see if there's any way to turn that off, because that would drive me crazy for sure. All right. So I did get a bike ride in today, so giving you guys a fitness update. I am officially at 20,000 steps, 20,079. Got about a 10-mile bike ride in, and I went to Aldi, and I did some shopping. Now, Mom and I like to do eggplant parmesan. That's just one of our favorite Italian dishes. I do it at least 2 or 3 times a year. But I've been watching Bobby Parrish on YouTube, and he talks about how the cheaper oils out there, so we're talking about vegetable oil, canola oil, all those highly processed oils are very inflammatory. In other words, they will inflame your muscles. So if you have an underlying condition like rheumatoid arthritis, degenerative joint disease, those are oils you want to avoid. So what he suggested is to get yourself something as lightly processed as possible. I like to use extra virgin olive oil, but the problem with that is it's not really designed for frying. It'll burn at high temperature. So what I actually did, Carlini put out, which is like an Aldi brand, an extra light olive oil, best for baking, roasting, and frying. You guys can see it right there. Now, I will say this is not as good as some of the ones that he talks about because this is not expeller pressed. But it is decent. It's refined olive oil and extra virgin olive oil. So it's better for you than the the other types of oil, but not as good as some. So if you can find a way to fry with the regular extra virgin olive oil, that's the best way to go. And the only way that I know of to do that is through something like an air fryer where the oil doesn't physically touch the meat or the piece of food you're trying to cook constantly. It gets convected around it mostly. How's everybody? We're doing okay. Doing all right. My allergies are still pretty bad. You guys can probably hear it. I'm having trouble talking because I'm all stuffed up. I deal with this year round, but certain times of the year are worse than others. All right, so we gave you an update on the Tahoe. I gave you guys an update on my fitness and stuff. What is everybody else doing today? We got 8 watchers. Eric goes, one of those days I might look into an air fryer. They're worth it. They really are. I haven't used mine in a while, but mainly because I haven't eaten fried food recently. But it is the healthiest way to eat fried food, bar none, because deep frying is one of the worst things you can do because you're permeating your food with oil. Now, that being said, there are types of foods that fry better than others, deep fry and air fry better, things like chicken, turkey, stuff like that, because generally what will happen is, especially if you coat it with like breadcrumbs, you have that breadcrumb barrier that'll prevent the oil from penetrating the chicken. So that is a little bit better for you, but it's still not great. You want to stay away from deep fried food for the most part. Don't forget to click that like button. If you enjoy these live streams, make sure you please give me a good thumbs up there. Yes, I did. Brought something to drink here with me. Another one of these Pure Aqua Bella View waters that I've been getting from Aldi. You guys know I'm a big Aldi fan. This is not sponsored in any way. I just really, really enjoy Aldi. I think a lot of people couldn't live the lives that they live now if Aldi didn't exist. Price-wise, it allows a lot of us to eat healthy, some of us for the first time, and be able to do it on our tight budgets. Yep, Father Ted in the background. I was watching a little bit. I started laying down on the bed, and I was ready to fall asleep, and I looked at the clock right there where my thumb is, and it said 5:58. I'm like, oh, better get ready for the live stream. Yeah, the weather here has been kind of crazy too. We've had sunny this morning, then it, clouded over, and now it's getting a little sunny again. It's supposed to be back and forth, and that's why I can't get any painting done outside. I can't do it, when the sun comes out and then the rain comes, because that type of paint takes at least 2 or 3 hours to dry. Corn oil. I've heard of corn oil. I don't know of the health benefits or if there are any with using corn oil. That might be something you want to look up, see how that is versus something like extra virgin olive oil. Avocado oil is another good one, but the good rule of thumb is any oil that is not highly processed is generally a good oil, and it's not inflammatory to your joints. I see Milo just came up. My. He's cleaning himself right now, which is what cats tend to do all the time. I have only maybe ever seen 1 or 2 episodes of Father Ted. I didn't even know they made 3 seasons of it, and now they put it on the Roku channel. I'm going to watch it. So no spoilers, please. I haven't even seen them yet. It was really sad though. The actor that played Father Ted actually passed away, and I think that's why they didn't actually make any more episodes, because I noticed he passed away the same year that the series ended, and that unfortunately happens a lot of times. It almost happened with well, he didn't really die, but Bewitched. If you guys ever watched Bewitched back in the day, Dick York, the first Darren, had crippling back pain from an injury that he suffered earlier. So basically, he basically collapsed one day on the set, and they had to drag him off, and that's when they brought Dick Sargent in. So that's happened quite a bit, and a lot of times, more than not, it actually ends the series. Because let's face it, I mean, you lose one of your main characters, what are you going to do? People don't generally accept replacements. You know, that was kind of the exception to the rule, what happened on Bewitched. 7 watchers, and we got 2 likes. Go ahead, click that like button, please. If you do like this, make sure you let me know, because I need to know what I'm going to be doing here in the future, because I'm going to be honest with you. My passions and my time may have to shift away from YouTube for a while. The way the ad revenue is right now, I'm hardly making any money from these YouTube videos, and this being a good portion of my income, I may need to go ahead and shift my resources and my time elsewhere, at least for a while, until what do they call it? And the advertisers start coming back, and they start pouring more money into YouTube, because it is like a wasteland right now. I mean, YouTube is not paying anything in AdSense revenue right now. I'm doing way too much off the clock right now. I hear you. I was really busy for a while myself, and now everything's just kind of slowed down. And that comes into my other point. At least where I live, there are certain times of the year where, I should say, certain times of the month where it's leaner than others, because around here we have a lot of military. So the military gets paid the 15th, the 30th of each month. So like right now it's March 10th. So this is becoming towards the end of the pay period. They got paid 10, 12 days ago. So what winds up happening is they don't have any money to spend. So i.e. they can't buy computers from me, or they can't get me to work on their computer. So I have to be intelligent enough to make sure I set aside a certain amount of money for those lean times of the month. Well, and that is a problem, Mr. Jimmy. People don't realize that when they skip the ads or they use something like an ad blocker, it is hurting the content creators. And I don't think there's going to be any stopping that. I'm guilty of it myself. I've used ad blockers in the past. I don't anymore, because I know that doing that hurts the content creators. Now, there are people out there that don't monetize their videos. There are people out there that have enough income elsewhere that YouTube is more of a hobby. And that's honestly the way it started out with me. But because I put a lot of time and even a lot of money in some cases into this channel, I have to, at the very least, make that money back and hopefully eke out a small profit. Although, if I go by what my accountant says, I haven't really technically made a profit yet. So, lights falling down here. So that's why I'm saying I'm not, by no means am I going to be shutting down the channel. That's not going to happen. But you may be seeing less content on the channel in the next few months. Good man. Sonic Wang watches the content. I would never deliver. I would never work off the clock. I don't care how many times your bosses tell you to do it. If you do it once, they're going to expect it, and they're going to make you do it. Me personally, I would never do it. I've had bosses ask me to do that, and I would say absolutely not. Actually, in Virginia, I don't know about where you live, Eric, but where we are in Virginia, they can't do that. And if they do ask you to work off the clock, you can report them anonymously, and they can get fined and or even prison time. It's actually a law in this state. I've also noticed that my revenue has gone up since I joined YouTube Premium. Yeah, I need to look into that. I haven't really had a chance to peruse that yet, but that's something I need to. I've heard a lot about it though. Lazy Fish Keeper. Wow, you have an accountant? Actually, it's my father's accountant, but yeah, it's our accountant. Let's say it's like one of those things where a friend of ours, her husband, we found out was an accountant, and we've been going to this person for years, and he does a really good job. Honestly, I'm not going to name him because I don't know if he'd want me to do that here, but he does a really good job. Uh-oh. I think Mom's town car is spazzing out. Oh boy. You guys hear that in the background? Yeah, she'll figure it out in a minute. This was my own free will because it's one of my customers. All right, just be careful, because if you do it, I'm telling you, I'm promising you, your bosses are going to expect it. Mike Workman, have you done a custom build video for a client? I have not. I've done some videos where I've refurbished computers, but I've never done a full build. That's not really what I do. Generally, for those of you that haven't been with the channel long, it's a variety channel, but basically my bread and butter is I buy pallets of good, used business class computers, generally Dell Optiplexes, sometimes HP Pro Series systems, and I refurbish them. Basically, I do like what GameStop does with game consoles, but on with computers instead. The main reason I do that versus new builds is very simple. It's more profitable for me to do that. For me to do a custom build for a client, my profit margin would be significantly less. I might make a 40% profit on a refurbished computer, whereas a fresh build, I might be lucky to eke out 20% or less. So I just find it more profitable to do that. Not to mention the fact that most of my clients and most of the people that I sell to don't need a brand new computer, and they're actually getting a better computer in the long run buying one of these refurbished systems, because these are business class computers. They're actually designed for longevity. There are many ways you can source them. I usually get them through eBay or through some type of liquidation company, and they're what we would call off-lease computers. So basically, a company leased these from a leasing company. Isn't that funny? A company leasing from another company, but that's really the way it works. And generally, when I get them, they're about 5 years old, so it's probably about a 5-year lease. The lease is up. The company sends the computers back, and then they lease new computers. It's just easier for them to do it that way. And then the leasing company sends them to a liquidator, and then that's what I buy them from, basically. And it actually works out really, really well, honestly. Like I said, the computers that I get from these companies are generally in very good shape. They do need a little bit of work. A lot of times, one or two might need a hard drive replaced. They generally need to have the memory upgraded, which I take care right here. I take care of right here. That's just the way I like to do it. It works much better for me. If your videos you upload got like 150K views a month, should be good. Yeah, if they would. If woulda, coulda, shoulda, if a, wisha, if a, what, I can't remember that whole thing, but basically, they need to be shared. And if the only way to do that is for you guys, my YouTube audience, to share them, I mean, I can share them on all the different social media platforms, and I do for the most part. But if you like a video, share it on your Facebook page, share it on Twitter, kind of get it out there, because doing that will help actually grow the channel. Ooh, that sounds good. A tray of homemade tacos. Man, I miss my beef days. I don't know if a lot of you guys out there know this, but I had to give up beef because of an allergy. The whole story behind it was when I started this lifestyle change, I gave up beef and pork actually for the first 6 months to kind of cleanse my system. I just went with chicken and vegetables, and I kind of enjoyed it. It was hard at first, but a couple months in, I was feeling much better. And then I hit the 6 month mark, and then all of a sudden I decided, you know what? I miss having a burger. Let me go ahead and add some beef and some pork back in. So the first thing I did is I went to, at that time, I believe it was Burger King, because they had that King Ranch burger, which was really good, by the way. So I went there. I had the Burger King Ranch burger, and I had some onion rings because I loved onion rings. I was going to treat myself. And at first everything was fine. I ate it, I enjoyed it, and then I came back home. I ate the meal like around 5. So I came back home, and I would say about 8 o'clock, I started getting major cramps. And I must have spent about 6 hours on the John that night. So I finally started feeling better. And the next day I woke up and I said, what is going on here? So I kind of cleansed my body again for a few weeks. And then I decided to try, eating something like beef again. So I went down to the Route 58 Deli in Virginia Beach. And I went and had one of their ginormous burgers. And this is a Jewish deli where you get gigantic portions. And I had I think it was just their California burger, which was like this high. It had the beef patty, cheese, lettuce, tomato, onions, mayonnaise, no mustard. I don't do mustard on burgers, but I ate that with some French fries, and I didn't even finish. I think I ate half of them, brought the other half home. And this was in the afternoon, so this was probably about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I did this for lunch. So same thing, about 3 hours later, on the John again, for like another few hours, mad stomach cramps. I'm like, okay, something weird's going on here. So I went and talked to my doctor, and I told him what's been happening. And he said that what happens is when you give up a food for any significant amount of time, especially one like red meat, i.e., beef, which is very hard to digest anyway, your body can develop an allergy to it. And that's what actually happened. So I cannot eat beef now, even if I wanted to. Thank you. Lazy Fish Keeper will eat an extra steak for me. He had a burger, stick with steak. It doesn't matter. It's just beef in general I can't digest. And actually, I didn't even say this. The burger that I had at the Route 58 Deli was actually a steak burger, which is basically sirloin steak that they grind up into a burger patty. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I would love to have a good burger, or maybe a good filet mignon, one of my favorite steaks of all time. Oh, so good. I remember we would have them for Christmas dinner every year when we lived in New York, and we would get them from Stu Leonard's, was the grocery store in Connecticut, and it was the most delicious, the most tender steak. And when I was a stupid kid, I used to put ketchup on it. Yeah, I actually did, believe it or not. But to me, I could still taste it, and it was so good. But that's okay. There are other options. I do still eat burgers, but they're the plant-based, they're the Beyond Burgers, and I'll do that once in a while, and I really don't mind that. And I'll even do a turkey burger. I can eat turkey just fine, so a lot of times I'll just go with a turkey burger. Yes, Rick, we do have Five Guys. I used to enjoy their burgers too, and their fries. Oh man, their fries are so good. I remember when you go there, they would fill it up and they would put the extra in the bag. Excuse me. Like you would never want to buy a large fry at Five Guys because you can't. Most people can't even finish a small fry. I know I can't finish one of their small fries. Nick Roberts, you're able to make one video every 2/3 a day or 2 out of 3 days. I think your channel would get more subscribers and views. Most people will, most of the time, not go and watch a live stream that is already finished. It's a good point. And I'm actually filming a vlog. It's going to be another 2-day vlog, maybe a 3-day vlog. No excuse, just have not been feeling that great with the allergies. When I have allergies like this, I don't sleep that well at night, and next day I'm kind of off my game, and I'd rather put no content out than bad content. So that's really my only excuse right now. Eric's Fried Channel. I got that big old beef eat. What? I got that big old beef either to do eat if you. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're saying there. Yeah, I don't understand that. You're gonna have to retype that one, Eric. Big old beef either. I got that big old beef ether, like starting fluid ether. I don't know. I do see that you do not like steak, and I was never a big steak fan either. When I used to eat beef, it was a lot of burgers, and a lot of junk that I probably shouldn't have eaten. The way I look at it is I spent enough of my life eating that kind of garbage, and I just don't want to put it in my body anymore. I won't even eat fast food anymore. I've gotten to the point where knowing what's in fast food, there it goes again. I don't know what's going on. That Lincoln Town car is spasming out something terrible. Just an FYI, you guys are not going crazy over the C virus. Oh yeah, you want to talk about crazy? I took my bike up to Aldi today to get some disinfecting wipes, and not even like baby wipes. I'm talking about the wipes that you would, use like Clorox wipes. Gone, totally gone. So then I went over to Walgreens and I went into the aisle where they actually store and all the Lysol products, and this is what I saw. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick so you guys can. This is going to be part of the vlog, by the way. So when I went, and I'm going to probably have to turn this off. Hang on. Is it that one? It's that one. Okay. So went to look for the wipes, the Lysol, and stuff, and that's what I saw, folks. Check it out. That's in Walgreens, believe it or not. The only thing I saw there was this lowly little thing of Pine Sol, and if you look right on the top here, some generic type of Lysol, nice disinfectant brand. No, I'm not going crazy over it, but I think people here are, and I'll be honest with you, I don't understand why. Because yeah, it's scary. I get it. I mean, but it's only really dangerous if you are elderly or you're immunocompromised. And being prepared is fine, but leave some for another person. It boggles my mind. I mean, people are going crazy. They're buying things like toilet paper. Do you know that you can't even get toilet paper now? I'm like, why in the world? I mean, I guess because people don't want to run out of toilet paper, but I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. There are memes, I kid you not, on Facebook that say, now that people bought all this toilet paper, everybody else is buying now. Those same people are buying laxatives because they want to be able to use all the toilet paper they bought. They bought a lifetime's worth of toilet paper and never going to be able to use it. So, be prepared, but don't be crazy. And a lot of people are acting meshuggah. I mean, that's a good word. How many of you guys know that word? They're acting meshuggah. Oh my, yeah, my speaker's falling. Hang on, or my mic's falling. Hang on. There we go. Excuse me. Okay, Eric he reiterated this. I am not a fan of beef either, even though I don't eat it. I don't like steak, even though I do eat it. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with eating the leaner cuts of beef. And if it doesn't bother your system, yeah, go for it. Voice to text, never, because I know it's going to screw it up. Mm. We got 10 watchers here. You know, I'm noticing that this Yeti mic, it almost sounds better if I have it at an angle. So right now, it's almost at a 45-degree angle, and it almost even sounds better to me now. So let me try this a little bit. I think a lot of people are going crazy over this stuff, Mark. You should read the articles. The mass media is making it out even worse than it actually is. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's bad. But, you know, the media has a lot of power in this country. Let's face it. They have a lot of clout. They have a lot of people in their pockets, and they have a good reputation for the most part. So when they come out and they talk about this, they need to be careful what they say because you're going to frighten a lot of people. That's just the way I see it. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to end it here because, as you can hear, my allergies are abysmally bad right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay safe out there. Don't freak out. Just be prepared. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.